Você sabe qual é a lógica econômica do contrabando?
It is simple. The high costs in Brazil burden businesses and increase the products. The consumer ends up looking for alternatives on the parallel market. That is where the smuggling comes in, with profits that may exceed 900%. This feeds the crime and leaves a very expensive trail of destruction for the company. The border regions have very serious levels of underdevelopment. GDP per capita of these cities is on average 4 times less compared to big cities. Formal employment does not exceed 15% on average. These municipalities almost do not generate income. That for the vast majority of workers are filling the informal hierarchical levels of this criminal chain. In these cities, the school dropout rate is 3 times higher, and the homicide rate exceeds levels considered to be a state of war by the UN. A significant portion of the amount of security forces is consumed by investigations, processes, and smuggling operation. Over 70% of the vehicles used in the smugglings are stolen. The domestic market is suffering. The government does not collect, and the people pay the bill. The greatest villain in this story is the cigarette, with a portion that represents 65% of all smuggling and already dominates over 40% of the entire national market. Cigarette smuggling has direct losses in the economy that exceed 6 billion real. Injecting a product unfit for consumption with highly carcinogenic substances such as lead and cadmium, as well as fungi and pieces of insects ever allowed by Anvisa. This generates nonsense for any tobacco control policy, which turns this cost in the public health system and supports for distribution of excess profits for organized crime. How can the problem be minimized intelligently?
Isso já foi feito no Brasil. Em 2005, o governo criou ações para o fortalecimento do mercado nacional de informática.
This market grew 539% since then, approaching zero smuggling seizures. The domestic cigarette market can be divided into 4 categories. If we consider only the cheapest 2, which represent the main targets of smuggling, and understand that the e-payee applied to all these categories is the same, we may have an explanation for the strong demand of product smuggling. In tests carried out by EDES, it was estimated that a fixed e-payee 70 cents real for the cheapest category, and if we had a formal product sold at $3.75 real, in 3 years, the consumption of smuggling for formal consumption would migrate to about 75%. This would be a hard blow to the logistics of smuggling. Considering only the cheapest category in 3 years, the collection would go up more than 5 billion real. $3 billion real being the union and $2 billion real to the states. Every year, this difference could cover the entire budget of the Highway Federal Police for 10 years or the Federal Police for 5 years. Not to mention the strengthening of social-economic border towns, since by reducing smuggling, we force formality. Redistributing the tax will reduce smuggling and improve the quality of life of people of whom will consume legal and safe manufactured products, increasing the collection and automatically providing the government conditions able to fulfill their duties to improve the quality of public services.
Somente com boa vontade dos governos e conscientização da sociedade é que conseguiremos pôr fim ao contrabando.
This is the economic logic of smuggling, damage to society, and profit of the crime.